Thank you very much, Rob, for joining us. And you listen, those are some very serious charges, anywhere from 20 to up to 30 years in prison for the most serious and even beyond. Are those charges going to be tough to prove?
You know, I'll leave that to the attorneys. I can tell you that I've not seen anything like that in my time here in Baltimore. I also haven't seen anything as expeditious as the state's attorney's office coming out and levying charges as almost as soon as they received a file folder, so to speak, from the Baltimore Police Department. So very, very serious. I think I talked to a lot of officers today, active and retired. I think there's a sense of shock, disbelief. Folks are upset. You know, they go to work that day, and here we are a short time later, and there's mugshots on TV of police officers. And equally on this other side, Freddie Gray, you know, a tragic incident. A mother's lost a child. It's a horrible situation. Baltimore engaged in riots. Again, a horrible situation. But the days following the riots, we've seen the best of Baltimore. Peaceful protests, neighborhoods getting involved, the older generation tugging the younger generation on the sleeve and saying, hey, there's a better way to do business. And so a lot of peace, a lot of good, and hopefully Baltimore can take this adversity that it's suffering and turn it into longer-term advantage and change in policing and community relationships across the country.
Yeah, and I want to talk about police departments across the country, because this is really a shot to the bow for many departments, because just the first part of it is unlawful arrest. So I think departments are going to be looking at not only how they transport, right, prisoners or people who they detain, but whether or not they're arresting this person legally.
That's a really good point, and I think when officers go on the street, certainly they need to have the resources, but they need the legal training. So reasonable suspicion, what is it, how do you use it, how is it defined by the state's attorney's office, and then probable cause and ultimately the arrest. You know, the training issues, the policy issues, all those things will be looked at. Body cameras for police officers, audio in the back of vans, as well as some of the visual techniques that are out there. But at the end of the day, I think a well-trained, disciplined police force that is supervised the right way for the right reasons is very, very important. And I've said it many times. Police departments can't do their job effectively without the communities that they serve, and the communities can't be as safe as they want to be without the officers who are sworn to serve and protect. And I have to tell you, the overwhelmingly sentiment that I have is the folks across this country, the men and women in blue, they want to do the right things for the right reasons and really do care about the communities that they serve.
When you look at the charges against the officers, if all of those things did happen, or if just some of them happen, an illegal arrest, not seatbelting him in, not calling for medical attention, not really checking on him in a proper way, going to an unrecorded stop. Those are very egregious things, even if some of them are true and not all of them.
Extremely serious. What we have here, again, is a mother that's lost a child. We've got training issues. I mean, it's been said over and over and over again that these officers may not have cared for Freddie Gray as he requested. All that will come out in court process, but very egregious charges, something we haven't seen here for a long, long time.
And it's you know, people here have been saying that this sort of behavior happens all the time from police officers. And now they feel like finally there's an example and that the whole world is paying attention. Do you think that we will start to hear, because I know we're hearing from the police unions, right? Do you think we'll start to hear from more police officers who either have these kinds of stories or who are going to say, listen, that's just not true. We have really hard jobs and you don't understand it?
I think in Baltimore, you have a lot of folks in the police department who are a little bit shocked in terms of what happened and how quickly this case came to the charging point. And I think departments need to take a very, very hard look at themselves. Again, the training issues, the policy issues, what are officers armed with in terms of legal tactics, and do they really understand what reasonable suspicion and probable cause is? The fact is many, many do, but we're dealing again with young officers many times who are aggressive, but I think many times are aggressive for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Many issues to sort through here, for sure.
Cameras certainly change things, don't they? Yeah.
We're in a world of digitization, and everyone seems to be a journalist these days, and so and even we saw here earlier at City Hall, a little more assertive in terms of enforcing the curfew, and the officers are under the gun because they are on national news, and the world is watching how they handle this very sensitive situation.
Rob Weinhold, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. You know, we're live in Baltimore tonight, just 2 hours into tonight's curfew here. Up next,